all of them don't they notice. I'm not joking, all my guys, them know me. Since '06, I've been writing the story. I know be OG, but if you ask them know me.
Hi loves, welcome or welcome back to the channel. On this video we'll be drafting and making this top. It is a wrap top, okay? It is an overlay top, whatever you know it as. I've earlier uploaded an overlay top on this channel, but I drafted without a drafting paper and I was getting a couple of questions. So on this one I'll be drafting on a drafting paper. I'll be giving details on how to draft and sew a basic wrap top, okay, or overlay top. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I also leave a comment in the comment section and let's get started. For this tutorial we'll be needing a yard and a half of this crepe fabric. I also have my lining, I have my scissors, my tape, and I also have my thread to match. For this tutorial you will not be needing a zipper, so let's get right into the video. Now I already have my pattern paper and I have my vertical lines, shoulder line, my chest line, my bust point, my under bust and my waistline. So the first thing I will be doing is to mark out the full length of this top, and I want the full length to be at 19, so I'm going to be marking at point 19 as my full length, and I'll be drawing a line across that point like so, and I'll be labeling it FL. Now on the shoulder line I'll be marking out my neck measurement, so I went in by 3.5 and came down by 1. I'll be drafting the back panel first before drafting the front panel, that way it's easier. After marking out the neck, I also forgot to mention that I folded my pattern paper into two. Okay, so the back is not going to be having any zipper allowance there. After marking out my neck, the next measurement I'll be placing is my shoulder measurement. So I divided my back shoulder measurement by 2, and I'll be placing the measurement on my shoulder line and on my chest line. Now I'll be drawing a straight line from my shoulder line to get my armhole line. Now on that armhole line, I'll come down by 1 inch and I'll be drawing a slant line to the neck like so that I have my shoulder slope. Now on the rest of that armhole line, I'm going to measure it and I'll be getting the midpoint of that 7 inches. And on that midpoint, I will go in by ½ inch, okay? I will be connected from my shoulder slant to the midpoint to the chest line, and that's going to serve as my armhole curve. Now the next measurement I'll be placing is my dart. So I placed my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 on my chest line, on my waistline, and on my full length. And I'll be joining these points with a straight line, okay? Now on the waist point, I'm going to be going out on both sides with ½ inch, and I'll also be going out on both sides on the full length with ½ inch. I will be joining the points on my full length and my waist with a straight line like so. Then I'll be using a slant line to join from my waist to my chest line like so. Now I'm going to strike out my dart and I will be placing my round measurement. So I placed my bust round divided by 4 on my bust point, and I also placed my waist round divided by 4 on my waistline, and then on my full length as well I'll be placing my waist round divided by 4, and I'll be joining these points together. Next, I will be replacing my dart measurement. So on my bust point, I measured my dart space and replaced it there. Measured the dart on my waist, replaced it. Measured the dart on my full length and replaced it. I'll be joining those points and extending it into the armhole like so. Now I'll be adding my sewing allowance, which is 1 inch. After adding my allowance, I went ahead to label it and I will be cutting this out. After cutting out my back piece, I'm going to slash open the dart because I don't want the dart to appear on the main fabric. I'm going to be taking out the dart on the pattern paper, and after taking it out, this is what I have. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out on my main fabric, and to do that I folded my fabric into two and I placed my pattern paper on a fold like so, making sure that the fold on the pattern paper matches with the fold on the fabric. I'm going to go ahead and pin that down and I'll cut it out. Now after cutting it out, I went ahead to cut out lining pieces that is exactly the same as the main fabric, and I'll be taking out my pattern paper and I'll be working on the back piece. Now to work on the back piece, and I'll be placing my fabric front side facing each other with the lining like so, making sure that they align very nicely and neatly. Now I will be pinning that down. Now after pinning it down, I will be stitching along the neckline with about half an inch on the shaping sides and on the hems, and I will be leaving out the armhole area, and that's where I will be turning it over from. Now after stitching and turning over, this is what I have. Remember to notch your curves. Now I will be working on the front piece, and to do that I went ahead to open up my pattern paper and I extended my waistline like so. Now I'll be working on the neckline, and for the neckline of this bag I just have to draw a line from the edge of the shoulder all the way down towards the waistline. So now because I don't want my own to just be straight, I want it to have a little curve, so I used the curvy side of my ruler to draw the line, and after drawing the line, this is what I have. I'm going to be cutting that out. So now for the front pieces, this is what I have. I'll be cutting two of this pattern because one will be overlapping on the other one. So to do that, I went ahead to fold my fabric into two, and I placed my pattern paper and pinned it down neatly on the fabric. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. After cutting it out, this is what I have for the front pieces. I have two of these pieces, so I went ahead to mark out where the back of the fabric is, and I also cut out lining pieces exactly the same as the main fabric. The difference in my lining pieces is that I joined the main fabric to the lining pieces so that that area is going to look neat and the lining will not be popping out. So I opened up my main fabric like so, placed my lining pieces on top to match it, front side facing each other. The next thing I'll be doing is to fix my belt, and for my belt, I'll be placing my straps at that point between the waistline point and the full length like so. I'll be placing my belt in between the main fabric and the lining fabric like so, and I'll pin that down. Now I'm going to flip it to the front so that I'm more accurate. So now after flipping it, I'll be pinning down my lining pieces to my main fabric. The belt is inside in between, so it's like a sandwich, right? Now I will take this to my machine and I'll stitch along the neckline, along the hem, and along the shaping side, and I'll be doing that for the two parts of the front pieces. And then after doing it, I have two identical parts like so, and this is the overlaying part. So I'm just going to place one and overlay the brother or the sister over it like this. Now after overlaying it, the next thing I'm going to do is to reintroduce my back piece. So I'll be placing my back piece on top of the front piece like so, making sure that it fits and matched nicely, and I'll be taking that to my machine and I'll be stitching about 1 inch across the shoulder like so. And after doing that, this is what I have. Now I'll be keeping that aside and I'll be working on my sleeve. For my sleeve, I folded my fabric into four. So after folding the first time, I folded it the second time so that I have four pieces. Okay, I'll be cutting the two sleeves together. I went ahead to mark out my sleeve length and I added about 1 inch that I'll be using to hem the sleeve length. I went ahead to draw my armhole, and from the tip of that armhole towards the underarm area, I'll just draw a straight line all the way to the full length of the sleeve, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So now after marking out the two sleeves, I'll be placing one aside and using one to show you guys what we'll be doing with the sleeves. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold the hems of this fabric, and I'll be stitching along that place to make a channel for where I'll be fixing my elastic. And after doing that, this is what I have for the two sleeves. As you can see, I've already fixed my elastic there. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my sleeve together, and I'll be notching the midpoint like so. I'll be attaching my sleeve to my main fabric, and to do that, that place that I notched, I'll be placing it on the shoulder joining and I'll be pinning it down. And remember to place your sleeve right sides facing each other, sewing along the armhole area, and I'll be shaping my dress and my sleeve alongside. Now after shaping it, I don't know, I lost the clip sha, but what happened was that when I was shaping it, I left about 1.5 inch space at one side and I shaped the other side. That 1.5 inch space that I left, is where I'll be passing my belt through. After shaping it and passing my belt through the 1 inch space, this is the final look. I like the fitting, the way it fits my body. I like the length of the sleeves. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If it did, let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, also let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you have not. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.